The 1953 Falcons were one of the greatest teams ever. The starting pitcher for the 1953 Falcons was Al Taylor. Al was born in May of 1934 in Detroit, Michigan. From 1947 to 1952, he played sandlot baseball at different age groups in the Detroit area. In 1951 and 1952, at Derby High School, they won the city championship. He signed a pro contract with the Detroit Tigers in 1952 and played with the Falcons.
We have Al Taylor here, played for Jamestown in 1953 and 54 as a pitcher. We have Dan Carnevale, who was the manager of the Jamestown team in 1953. He has been a special assignment gentleman since 1972 and a scout for the Cleveland Indians. Also played.
I was here, but he held his record for longest strikeout. They had me in Durham, and they were going to send me to Jackson, and I talked to GKL and asked him if I got to go back to Seaball that hunt, I'd rather go back to Jamestown.
9-2 my first year. I had a good start.
What year was that, Al?
53.
53.
Left-handed?
Right-handed.
Right-handed.
Right-handed. Picked me for the opener here in
What was your
Jamestown.
best pitch?
I had a good curveball.
Breaking ball, I remember.
Yeah, I had a good curve. I had a good fastball too, but as I say, we didn't have the coaching that they have in this days. I mean, you did your job, but once we got out of spring training, we didn't have, we had to
In
develop.
those days,
Well, we were on our own.
He ran everything.
George Alusik. Everything he hit, you could pinpoint down that left field line. Now, him as a manager, the only thing that could advise, maybe open up a little bit and do a little hitting to right field. Get those doggone. He had the center fielder playing left field, and he wouldn't hit a ball to right field, and that's what killed him.
Give me the lineup. Give me the 53 lineup. Do you recall?
Go ahead.
We had Gabby Whitetucky playing first or catching. We had Kenny Waters playing second. First base. Bobby Taylor was playing second. We had McElroy short. We had Tom Sarna was playing our third baseman. And we had George Alusik. I think he was our right fielder because he had a good arm.
Yeah, very good.
And Pete Vittoritto was our center
Left field.
Left field. Then you had Gene Neff.
Then we had the guy from Ohio State, center field. Hess? I can't remember.
Stu Hine.
Stu Hine.
Stu Hine.
He was a good one.
Yeah.
He was out of
And
Ohio
on the
State.
pitching staff, he had
Bob Shaw.
Bob Shaw, Vince Traken,
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
You had
Bob Mish.
Bob Mishy. He was a left-handed. You used him a lot as a. He was a. You used him in relief, and he won 16 games that year.
Furlong.
No, he wasn't. You had Paul Franks.
Oh, that's right.
And Flickinger.
Flickinger, yes.
They were two from Pennsylvania.
That's
and
right.
Al Pahanic,
Pahanic.
a real tall kid.
They were all good players.
And he had, I think Bob Rogers was a second catcher for Whitetucky, and they sent him out. He ended up being in the Angel organization, I believe. He was. Kenny Walters ended up with Cincinnati.
And the Phillies.
And the Phillies. And Bob Shaw, he ended up with the White Sox. I went down to a ball game in Pittsburgh and run into Bob Shaw. He was with the Giants at that time. And there's an old saying, it's just like tonight. I haven't seen Dan here for 40 years.
Right.
They don't change. You don't forget the experience. You can talk to anybody that's been in baseball. The experience that you have in baseball, I don't care how little, how big, you never forget, and it's the greatest bunch of guys I have ever been encountered with. You never forget them. It's like a club, and they're clean. There was no drugs in our days, no alcoholics. There was no maybe a smoke now and then, but we stayed away from all that stuff. And as I say, we went out there and played the game because we had fun. We enjoyed the game, and as I say, you talk about going down to spring training. Now in '53. Of course, in '52, I got signed with Detroit. I was from Detroit. Got signed with the Tigers, and we go down to spring training. Well, you feel macho. You're 18 years old. You got a minor league contract. You actually have achieved something that maybe 10,000 other kids dream of. You never had. You go down there, and you got to do this all over again. You got to do this all over again. You go down there. There's 200 people trying out for. He goes down there. There's 200 people that they show. They come down from A ball down to B ball. It's just like in 54, I had a good year here in Jamestown in 53. 54, I go down to spring training. I have a Durham contract for 1 day. I'm back to Jamestown. And I come back here for 54 season.
Only guy ever to start opening day, 2 years in a row.
Both seasons.
Yeah.
We went out for breakfast and they says, "Yeah, you're starting tonight against Bradford." And I says, "Okay." Now, well,
Do you remember the game?
Huh? Oh yeah, I won 8-2.
Sam Williams was supposed to pick them.
Yeah, I won. In those days, I got the first base hit. I got the first sacrifice. I think I scored. I won the ball game. And in them days, these local merchants gave $5 for all this stuff. Desco used to give a home run every home run, a free watermelon and all that. And so I chummed around with Holly Powell, which he hit about 18 1 year, and as I say, we got about 18 free watermelons. But you pick your pals. But all my years in pro ball, I pitched the opener. I was on Idaho Falls.
That's nice.
And I was a winner. As I say, I was a winner. And it's kind of distinct. But then as a youngster, you don't realize. I'm not the big, powerful 6'5" guy that some of these guys come in and got all that stamina. I threw my arm out when I was 22, so I had to give up my profession. But we went down to spring training. He formed our team. It was pretty quick. It was pretty quick. I bet within, like you say, Cy picked the team within a couple of weeks. You had pretty much your focus. Because I got the clippings. My dad, yeah, I got them in the scrapbook. And Peoples was our general manager at that time.
Yeah. I know his wife visits with us all the time, you know.
Yeah, Lyons was our GM in 54.
He's gone.
Yeah, it's super people, super.
Yeah, those are great people.
But anyway, they had our team formed, and the thing that you had in them days, we had two papers here in Jamestown, and you had the Sun and you had the Post Journals. You had Frank Hyde and you had Wade Forsythe. They were down in spring training. I mean, they were down there. So they were writing about the second week of spring training. You got your town here in Jamestown knew what was coming here to Jamestown. So when they hit Jamestown, they knew pretty much by paper, pictures, and everything else what the team was. These people here today, they don't know until a couple of weeks after the season starts who's here and what's going on. And in them days, he had a starting 9. Of course, he had a replacement. He had a couple extra in the outfield, and of course, you had your pitching. But you had your regular people, which they were your team. You played your 126 games with these people. There wasn't much in or out. There was a couple that would come and try out and all this and that. But basically, our team was, we got to know Dan down in spring training. We respected him. He was a good coach, good manager. And as I say, we just went out and played one whale of a season for him. It's an experience that you can't, he wasn't a Gestapo. But we knew, you got to be a Gestapo because you go on the road. You got to know how to handle these people. You got to be a father, a coach, a mother to these kids because most of the time this is our first time away from home, and you got to know how to act. You got to know how to act in Jamestown. You're respected. You got to be respected by your community. You're not going to go out and say, "Hey, I seen Al Taylor or that come out of the bar drunk this night. This gets around. This is a whole." What do you want to say, a downslide for your organization, your team, everything. So as I say, we played good for him. We respected him. We liked him as a manager. They played one whale of a season.
Jerry Klein.
Oh.
Probably the most humorous guy I ever met in baseball. And he used to sing all those songs, keep it a secret. If you had a curveball
that broke like a bomb, you must have
left in the league you came from. 85,000 our scouts paid for you, and you keep on losing 12 and 15 to 2. Why don't you quit baseball, try something instead? If you're a great pitcher,
our team
if you win a ball game, our team would drop dead.
So
if you're a great pitcher, it's now plain to see, you've kept it a secret from me. That was Jerry Klein.
Yep.
He would be driving the bus singing that song all the time.